Autistica is such a good cause as well. I support it as a fellow autism person. It's great because it's so much like... There are a lot of charities out there that I know are not focused on actually aiding autistic people and more like trying to get rid of autism, which I don't think is actually a thing that can help, that will ever happen. And also, I think besides a lot of like, there is like a lot of really difficult things that come with being autistic, but I think also so much of it is your personality, where it's like, as someone with lower support needs on the spectrum, I don't think that I wouldn't want to be, because as much as it would be nice to like not have to worry about social stuff or worry about like my energy and things, I feel like I'd be such a different person. The ADHD though, that I feel like that would be a little bit easier to to not have, because that I do take medication for. But I guess also it's a part of who I am too. Purple ADHD dude with a mustache. Has this got a... Ooh, okay. I can put little stars as well. But Autistica is like really doing a lot for autistic people in that it's like a lot of assisting and like making... Oh my gosh, that trailer that because I haven't really been able to sit down and watch too many of the streams, but there was a trailer that I did see yesterday, which was conveniently after my crying speed run, and it was from Autistica, and then at the end of it, it was this little boy, and he was like, "Thank you so much to Jingle Jam and Yogscast." And I just, oh my god, it was like I was doing my crying speedrun again. I could have just played the ads. I could have just played the wonderful charity ads. Because that was just like... One of the best things about Jingle Jam is like, it's not only working very closely with the charities, but also like, we get to see a lot of what happens with the funds afterwards. And to just like see the progress that charities are able to make with the funds that come from Jingle Jam, it's like, it's wild. I like being a part of it and getting to contribute is just like, there's not a lot like it in the world, especially as like, because I feel like I'm just a normal dude. Like I'm just me. And then to be able to like do something on the scale of Jingle Jam is absolutely unbelievable sometimes. And almost overwhelming, because it's like, I'm just a small part of the world. And there's a lot of people that are all over the world doing like massive amounts of good. But boy oh boy, I can't believe it that I get to be so fortunate. And of course all of you are involved with this as well, doing your donations and like doing community fundraisers and streams and participating in chat and everything. Like all of that is instrumental in the entire event. But like also like coming from the perspective of being a content creator in the Yogscast, and also coming from the perspective of being someone that was in the community that would tune in like every Jingle Jam and be like, wow, it's my favorite time of the year, and like donating like however many times I've donated throughout the years. Going from that and then also like being in it and doing it is just like, what is going on? I feel so lucky and so fortunate. Look at this. I've discovered a hack. Look at that. Hacking. Hacking. You're the best. As a fellow autistic person, I aspire to be as awesome as you are. I feel like you're already there. I think, like, there's also, of course, with... I feel like with a late diagnosis, there is very much that, like, imposter... I guess it's not really imposter syndrome, but more not feeling valid or like a part of the autistic community almost. What's that look like? Oh, that's pretty good too. But I feel like getting to work closely with Autistica has also helped me like feel more valid, and also seeing the work that Autistica does, and by that learning more about autism has made me feel just a lot better and a lot more like a sense of community, I guess. Especially because I think so many people in our community are neurospicy in some way. So I think having Autistica as a charity that Jingle Jam represents is very, very important. Because I think then you see like how many people are going through similar experiences and everything too. And so then you don't feel alone, and you feel valid, and you feel like part of this community of people who might have similar experiences, you know? Alright, I'm gonna merge these for now. I'm committing. Being late diagnosed gave me a home rather than feeling like an imposter. Being in the neurotypical world made me feel like an alien, and still does. I think for me, it was like the same thing with like being queer, but being raised and socialized as like heterosexual, I guess. And it's the same sort of thing with my experience of an autism diagnosis, which is like, it's like the same thing in a way, a mirror experience where I'm like, I never even considered the fact or let myself think about being queer, because I was like, I'm straight, like that's just how it is. Like there, in my mind, there was no way for there to be anything else. And it's the same thing with like being autistic, I guess. Because, which is funny because my brother is autistic. And so for me, it just was like how much I guess I masked and convinced myself that I was not neurospicy in some way. And then thinking back on so many things and then realizing actually how much I was struggling and didn't know, because in my mind I was not struggling because that was just the way that it was. And that, like, because I had a lot of other things going on as well outside of, you know, anything personal related in my own, like, personality and mental support. But then, like, looking back on a lot of things, I'm like, wow, like, that's also why I think Autistica is so important, because I think, like, the more people that are able to be not only diagnosed, because the wait list for that is very long as well, but to receive the support for it, especially the younger that you are, I feel like you have much better opportunity when you are able to receive that assistance, you know? Especially with like the things that they have in the plans for people to receive the help that they need.